Damien Varling in the building for the handoff. What's going on, man?
What's up?
Chilling?
No, you're not.
I'm
It's
not?
99 outside already.
Oh, my God.
It is. On my watch, that's 98.
There is no chilling for the foreseeable future.
So what you're saying, this is long sleeve shirt and poofy vest weather?
Well, if you're the general manager, if it gets a damn deal done, I don't care if you wear a vest. I don't care if you wear a hoodie, a beanie. I don't care what you do.
At what point? Because yesterday, James and I were on the same page. It's like, hey, it's July 1.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of factors here. There's some stuff to work through, and these deals get complicated. So fine. Today, I'm still in that. It's fine. But like every second that ticks down, every time Woj tweets and it's a Gary Harris contract adjustment.
Yeah.
I think he did that on purpose.
Yeah.
He definitely did that to mess with people. I feel like I'm inching toward like not panic, but like urgency.
Well, that's because you're a content creator. Like that's what it is. And the people listening are
content consumers.
Yeah. Like they love their basketball team. They want to talk about the Kings traded for. They want to talk about the pros and the cons of the particular deal that they made. The problem is that we feel like it's all going to end like tomorrow. Like, okay, they ran out of time. No deal's going to. No, nothing has run out of time until Brandon Ingram is traded somewhere else or Kyle Kuzma is traded somewhere else or trades get made across the league that Sacramento's just not involved in. Then it's a problem. Then it's like a legitimate, okay, now I'm concerned about where this team is going moving forward. Right now, we're impatient and it's annoying. That's all it is right now. It's a nuisance.
I think you can also, like we've talked about, you can be a little bit more conservative about free agency because of the fact that you can trade the MLE and the biannual exception. You can trade these things. So as opposed to past years where you had to sign somebody. So the panic to sign somebody, it should still be there, but it's not as prevalent as it would be normally because I think there are teams out there that are going to need to rebalance and look and change things. And, if
Kemba Walker retired, that's why we all look at our phone. That's
Kemba Walker
That's why we all looked at our phone is because Kemba Walker retired.
I need Woj. You know what? I need Woj and Shams to have two accounts.
Oh, yeah.
I need Woj ESPN and Woj like, hey, don't turn the notifications on for this one.
Like that's not nice. I liked Kemba Walker.
No, it's fine. And that's not to say it's not notable, but everybody's got their Wojifications on because they want like a Lauri Markkanen trade or a Brandon Ingram trade, not a Gary Harris. Actually, that's $15 million over 2 years, not $14 million. Fine. That's worth reporting.
The contract restructure.
Announcement. Did you call them Wojifications?
Yeah, that's tremendous.
That is tremendous.
Salute to Kemba Walker. Awesome career. His crossover on Gary McGee in the Big East tournament at the Garden is an all-time sports moment for me. Incredible thing. I was watching in class. There were a bunch of people watching behind me that I didn't know they were watching. It was on my laptop. And he did that and hit the game winner against Pitt. And like 10 people behind me went, oh, like reacted to it. And our professor like stops and looks over his shoulder like, what?
Is everybody okay?
Yeah, and I was like, nothing going on. And then he just went back to his lecture. Yeah, it was so much fun. I don't need that notification right now.
I understand.
Just
get all worked up about it. It's
pissed.
all right. I see that.
I'm big mad.
Yeah, I see that. That's just what we're dealing with right now. I don't have strong vibes. Yeah, I don't have strong vibes that something's getting done today. I really did yesterday. I went into yesterday's show thinking at some point during the show we were going to make a pretty dope Kings announcement.
I did too.
Or a Kings announcement.
Why do you think I was here so late?
Yeah, that did not happen at all. And now I've just lost confidence that's going to happen.
At all?
Well, I don't think it's happening today. If
I think it's happening tomorrow
at 9:30 really
a.m.
trying to be funny, he'll do it tomorrow, and we'll deal with that however we need to. But yeah, like I don't know, man. None of those guys we're looking at has been traded, so that's all that matters.
I think I'm taking Lauri Markkanen off the table in my head.
Yeah, I took that off the table about 2 minutes after James and I got that scoop.
Yeah.
I just don't buy it because I don't buy it. If anybody other than Danny Ainge was the general manager of the Utah Jazz, like, yeah, okay, we'll see where this goes. I don't. Danny Ainge is he's so full of crap.
He likes to be famous.
Well, Danny's the same. Like, Danny just talks, right? Like he just talks for the sake of talking. And I'm not even sure he's interested in trading Lauri Markkanen.
Yes, right. That's what it's like. I compared it to the Brandon Ayuk thing with the Niners during the draft. The Niners were like, yeah, he's available for a top 8 pick. And the top 8 teams were like, absolutely not. Do you want a second? And the Niners were like, well, no.
Yeah.
And I think Danny Ainge is like, yeah, for Keegan Murray and all your firsts, sure, Lauri Markkanen's available.
Yeah, no, bro. Like, no. And the idea that Sacramento is entertaining trading Keegan Murray for Lauri Markkanen is ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's not a thing.
No.
Now, is it what Danny's asking for? Sure. But like, that's not a conversation that's having. Those aren't talks between Sacramento and Utah. Those are talks that Danny Ainge is having in his head. And they're just not realistic.
Well, I also think that what you're doing is you're putting out the standard of this is what we would expect from the Sacramento Kings. And so if you're going to play in this pool, that's what you're going to have to offer. You're going to have to offer a piece.
Well, I'm not getting in your little punk ass pool then.
I agree.
Hell yeah. To get in a pool, and no, I'm not going to, never mind. Nope. Keegan Murray, Jazz. Right. So if the Jazz call the Kings, or I'm sorry, Kings call the Jazz and say, hey, Lauri Markkanen available? And the Jazz go, yeah, sure. We'll take 4 first-round picks and Keegan Murray and Kevin Huerter.
No, cool. That's a cute offer to start the conversation. Now, what's a serious conversation sound like? Because that's unserious.
Right. No, it is. But that then could be reported as, yeah, the Kings and Jazz have had trade talks about.
Yeah. But again, this is where we have to like critically think a little bit. Like Kevin Durant was traded for 4 first-round draft picks.
Yes.
Kevin Durant.
Good player.
I'm sorry. Lauri Markkanen is getting the 4 trade treatment, the 4 draft pick treatment. No, man, he's not. He's absolutely not. Mikal Bridges. So here's the difference. Mikal Bridges, New York looks at Mikal Bridges as the guy who takes them up to the Boston level. That's the difference. It's like, it's no different than the Rudy Gobert deal. Rudy Gobert was seen by the people who run the Minnesota Timberwolves as this is what gets us to the top of the Western Conference. We will mortgage our future for this move right here because it gets us exactly where we want to go right now. That's the difference. Lauri Markkanen, does it solidify a top 6 spot for Sacramento? Sure. Top 4? Maybe. Does it lock them in as a Western Conference title contender? And I don't think it does.
Without Keegan.
Without Keegan, there's no point. Without Keegan, it's nothing.
Right.
It's nothing. You have a core that you're building around, and that's what you're doing. You deviate from that when you talk about players like Kevin Durant. I'm sure Phoenix didn't want to give up Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson, but it's Kevin Durant. It's not the same thing.
I'm with you.
Well, good. I'm glad we all agree.
You doing okay? I feel like you were just yelling at me.
I might have been.
We agreed.
No,
we were on the same page, man.
I just feel like no.
What I was trying to do, I was offering a commentary on reporting of these teams have had talks about this player.
Well, but it's the thing. Yeah, it's like I just don't feel like people think when they read stuff. And this actually started yesterday. My frustration, and a lot of it was like at our ESPN account about how we've got to do something because Fox is watching this roster. And I asked everybody, and I'll ask both of you in the final seconds of this show. We're all talking about and salute Ant-Man and Sam Amy because I'm sure there's a lot of truth to this. But let's ask ourselves, if De'Aaron Fox had made All-NBA this year, are we talking about De'Aaron watching the roster?
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
He would have got his deal.
Absolutely not. And De'Aaron is making the right move. It's a financial play. We just saw Donovan Mitchell make the same exact financial play. Tim Bontemps for a year. Trade him. It's too late. He wants out of Cleveland. No, dummy. He's making what makes financial sense.
Right.
Now what's the story? Donovan Mitchell signs a 3-year deal for like $150 million. And Bontemps is confused. How did this happen? Because, dummy, he said that from jump. He was going to wait for the money. It's not just fans that need to critically think. It's James's friends like Tim Bontemps.
Well, and I'll add,
get Tim Bontemps on happy hour because I'm joining.
When we talked about the potential for Lauri Markkanen yesterday, we were honest about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it was it's something we had heard.
Yep,
but it was also something that does not, like, a lot of it doesn't pass the sniff.
Yeah.
On that note, D'Lo and Casey are next. I'm fired up for today's show.
No, we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have fun, baby. Vibes are up.
D'Lo and Casey coming up next. That's James Ham. I'm Kyle Madsen. We'll talk to you guys next week. 10 a.m. on Monday.
Wow, that's wild because it's Tuesday, but you're right.
Wow.
Well,
see you next week.
For the next week, drink water and be nice to people.
We're not joking.